everyone, the group 3 from Poetry Appreciation 2023D, we will present the result of our discussion regarding the TPCASTT analysis from the poem titled Stopping by Woods on Snowy Evening by Robert Frost.
Hello, my name is Jufh of Maidah and my student number is 132.
And hello, my name is Dian Amalia Winanti with student number ID 134.
Hi, I'm Dini Abiana Rahmani with student number 136.
Hello, my name is Anggun Andini with student number 142.
My name is Zabrina Nurfadhillah with student number 149.
The first T in TPCASTT analysis stands for title, and this poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost, seems to have a lot of meaning inside it. And judging by the title itself, it looks like someone, the character in the poem, admiring the beauty of the scene on a snowy evening while stopping to ride his or her horse in the forest. He or she stopped for a while, which means like he or she want to take a rest after a long journey. But in the last line, a mile to go before I sleep, it stated that he or she has a promise to keep. Also, some phrases describe the atmosphere near him or her, but it just described it as the darkest evening and lonely winter, without anyone except them. So, we think this poem will be talking about a lonely wanderer in the winter pursuing his or her promises.
I think I know who this woods belongs to. Although he lives in the village, he won't notice that I came here to enjoy the view of his woods covered with snow. My tiny horse would assume that it's strange, stopping with no farmhouse nearby. The one other noise is the gentle sweep of breeze and the fuzzy feather. Beautiful, narrow, and dark describes the woods. But I have some words to fulfill, and miles away before I can rest, and miles away before I can rest.
Next is about connotation. This poem has rhyme scheme AABA, BBCD, CCDC, DDBD, and for figurative language, this poem has metaphor. For the example is, and miles to go before asleep. Second, imagery. The example are 1. The only other sounds the sweep. 2. Of easy wine and downy flake. Third, personification. The example are 1. My little horse must think it queer. 2. He gives his harness bells a shake. 3. To ask if there is some mistake.
Next is alliteration. For the alliteration, we have the example 1. He gives his harness bells a shake. 2. Woods, these are I think I know. Next, assonance. For the example is the only other songs in the suite. Next, repetition. For the example is and miles to go before I sleep. And lastly, symbols. For the example, we have 1. The woods. The woods symbols mystery and peace from the world. And 2. The snow. In this poem, the snow symbolizes coldness and a sense of isolation.
The diction of the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost uses simple word choices like house, village, sleep, and etc. These word choices make it easy to read and understand the meaning. Not to forget, there are also connotative words like the word woods can symbolize the isolation place, as the character described as lone wanderer, but it just implies as a forest. The word sleep can symbolize taking a rest or a break, but can also symbolize a final moment or death. And the word snow can symbolize coldness or a sense of isolation.
For the attitude of this poem, the poem tone feels relaxed and charming with snowfall in the evening. The writer seems enjoy the piece, then stop and pensive about the promise that must be kept. This poem uses present and future tense. For the future tense, it used when he will fulfill the promise before he rests. The poem used first person because it used I as the pronoun.
For shift, we have three shifts: shift in setting, shift in speaker, and shift in thought. Shift in setting, we have two examples. Verse 1, line 1. His house in the village town, line 2. Shift in speaker, we have one example. But I have promises to keep, line 14. And shift in the tone, we have one example too. And miles to go before I sleep, line 15 until 16.
And the second T in the TPCASTT analysis stands for title again. And after reading it again and analyzing this poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost is talking about a journey to pursuing a promise or responsibilities on a snowy evening or winter season, just like what we predicted earlier. Initially, this poem gives the reader an illustration to think about he or she, the character in the poem, as a lone wanderer who enjoys the view on a snowy evening for a moment. But actually, this means to take a rest for a while from his or her long journey before. Later on, he or she gets back to the reality. He or she needs to let go of his or her desire to keep admiring the scene, the snowy evening scene, and must keep moving forward to continue his journey again. This poem highlights the situation between he or she desire to take a rest and the promises that makes he or she keep moving forward for the promises no matter what.
Now let's move on to the theme. The theme of this poem relates to the desire to stop on a journey to admire the beauty of nature, seeking tranquility in a lovely, dark, and deep forest, but had to let go of that desire because there was still a promise that had to be kept. Sometimes we have to let go of something that we desire the most to continue what we have to do, to fulfill our duty. And promise is something that we must fulfill no matter how tempting the distraction is to not to do it. And that's all our explanation about TPCASTT analysis in this poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. We hope we conveyed well, and I hope you can understand our analysis. And thank you very much, and see you next time.